the cultural
decision.
differences, the cultural nuances, what awaits you, how it's going to have an impact on you as a person, how you're going to grow as a person.
Definitely.
And this is really what I must say we've seen with so many great people coming here. They are just no longer the same.
Exactly.
And you will grow as a person. Hi, this is Jörg, which is German for George, here at Find a Job in Germany in Berlin. And with me today is my colleague and partner,
Raoul.
Welcome, Raoul. Raoul, we just had a really cool meetup on Friday, a meetup here in Berlin at our office, where we had, which is what we do generally and regularly, a couple of our successful coachees here at our office, where we had a little meet and greet, and we had some snacks, we had some beers, and whoever didn't want to have some beers, they got something else. We want to share some of the insights that we have with you, especially when it comes to your arrival in Germany, especially when it comes to your settling down, your first 100 days. Raoul, what would you say has been your takeaway from Friday evening?
First of all, it's amazing to see everyone is here.
Yeah. Eventually meet the people that you usually know online.
Exactly,
only.
it's amazing. We worked with them so intensively, and now we are here hugging, and it's just meeting friends for the first time in person. It's very nice. Mm-hmm. But back to your question, I think what we can really say that everyone is getting into a culture shock. If you are from India, from Pakistan, Costa Rica, Taiwan, Philippines, Kenya, or from wherever, you will face a different environment compared to your home. And this is totally common, that especially in the beginning, that you face and see differences, behavior of people, you face language, also the weather impacts you, unfortunately, these days during winter, and so on. And this is, I think, what many really underestimate or do not think while applying for jobs. Yeah? And I lived also abroad, and I can tell you it's totally common it affects your lifestyle to some extent in the beginning, but at the same time, I think it's the exciting part of it as well.
Very much so. I mean, we keep asking people, how's it going? How have your first couple of weeks been? And most of the people really need to tick off some boxes. You do your registration, you open your bank accounts, you get your German cell phone number, you get your ducks in a row, essentially. And apart from that, of course, onboarding to your new employer. And I think what I really appreciate knowing is that most of the folks are super happy with the companies that they work for. And this is really important. It's what we keep saying to all the people that have a final round with a company. You are in charge of evaluating them as well. It goes both ways. And you can have a great salary which pays you 85K a year. If the employer sucks, those 85K aren't worth anything. Rather be with a team, with people that appreciate you, respect you for who you are, give you leg room, understand you, support you. Really, that's what we can say. That's what the people are usually happier about. What would you say are the concerns that people have shared most of the time? And some of them have already been here for quite some time, so it really depends. And we could see those who have been here, like I'm thinking about Srikant, for example, like those people, it's much smoother sailing. Whereas for the ones who have now been here for maybe 5
Definitely,
weeks.
And I remember the other coach, he has a small garden, and I think he's here now since 1 year, and his story were like he lives here for 15 years, and he was 100% German stereotype, actually.
Has their own little
garden every Sunday. He goes to that chicken place with his wife and had really already established a clear routine. That was nice to see. But I would say that, of course, you need to get to know the environment. Mm-hmm. You mentioned it, registration and so on. That can some are totally stressed out in the beginning. We guide you here as well with our program, but still you need to attend. You need to live in an environment where the language is German. Huh?
That's
I mean,
true.
you work most likely at a company which is international, where the language at the office is English. Yeah, I don't know anyone of our colleagues who works in total German. Nobody,
Nobody
right?
really. No.
But still, the daily life is in German, huh? And this
Exactly.
is somehow where, yeah, you will face it already in our program. We regard our program also as a cultural setting or setup, preparation for your move to Germany. But Germans are direct, and in some or by some coaches, they are a bit confused. Let's say,
Yeah.
huh? That is a very common thing, I would say.
Very
Huh?
common thing. And
German directness.
totally, totally. The funny thing is, really, we usually only get to meet the folks who are here in Berlin because our office is in Berlin and it's really nice to just meet up on a Friday afternoon. We're not in touch with, and who we only get to meet a couple of times is when we visit people in other cities. You had your tour now to Frankfurt, to Stuttgart, to Heidelberg. I went to Munich once, went to Hamburg a couple of times. You also visited somebody from Hamburg. People are different in each part of the country. Really, they are. Not just do we say that, but do our coaches say so? I remember Shankara who's saying he knows the difference between somebody from Berlin and somebody from Cologne. That's very subtle, and I have to subscribe to that. People from Berlin are not friendly. They are just not friendly. So, but people from Paris aren't friendly either.
Yeah, the good thing about Berlin, I think 65% are not from Berlin.
That's
so
true, yeah.
that are the nice people then.
But what we're saying here is that you may have an experience with one person. Don't let that,
Overtake somehow, like
that everybody is like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you want to be selective in who you like and who you meet, of course. But if somebody sucks, then they suck. Then there is no helping them anyway. And there's a lot of people that I don't get along with in this city.
Exactly, and I think at some point this is part of the cultural shock. Right? Like I think wherever you go, wherever you work or stay, even for holidays, you meet nice people and there are not so nice people. Huh?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you are in Germany, in France, in Italy, in US, in India, in wherever. Yeah. Of course, you just want to stick with the nice ones, and the other ones should not interest you. But of course, you probably give more attention in the beginning to the negative effects, and that is, I think, part of the cultural shock, that these minor negative things that you maybe experience as well, you value a bit more. You know what I mean? But at the same time, this is another thing what I experienced is many of our coaches, due to very open regulation at offers, they stick at home, doing home office. And here I would say, guys, you come to Germany to experience a new environment, go out, get in touch with people, and avoid the mistakes in just sitting in your room and don't leave your apartment.
Never ever do that.
Because
that's the worst thing that
this
you can
is
possibly
especially in the beginning, if you don't know people, if you don't know the environment, you get desperate, you know? And I think this is really something where everyone who's feeling lonely, again, this is part of the cultural shock, try to connect either way via sports or any hobby you have, etc., and interact with people, attend meetups, etc., etc. There are many opportunities.
And you have a couple of people. I saw Rakesh ask you for a badminton course, and then you sent him a link that he can sign up for a badminton class. And these things are here.
Definitely, or table tennis.
Whatever.
We had also another recording with one who's actually active in some club now, where he meets people, where you really find out what German culture is about.
Exactly.
And this is the best entry point, I guess.
There is one thing that I noticed, and this is really, I remember you saying, there is nothing in Berlin that you can or cannot do. The city is full of opportunity. There are so many cool people, there are so many weird people, and that's what makes the city special. But it's also you who said that you really have to throw yourself out there. And I think you mentioned how, of course, everybody has a different take. I remember the people in the kitchen, it was also at the very end, it was a little bit of a kitchen party. I remember Rita saying I think Azad was saying the old people aren't nice. And then Rita was just saying every time she sits on a bench, an old person comes to talk to her in German. But this is how, different perceptions vary from another. The one person makes a general statement and the other makes another general statement, which is completely opposite of that. Be prepared for the differences and for them to be normal, that are going to be at the order of the day. Accept them and embrace them because, and this brings me to Srikant, he's been here for how many years now? That guy really knows how to play the flute. He knows everything. Definitely. He knows the procedures. He knows how everything works. He's used to everything, and he accepts there's differences. I think that's what makes the difference.
And I think it's also good if you make yourself aware of the fact that you are not only in Berlin but in Germany one of millions, thousands of people who are exactly in the same position, right?
I remember.
You move to Germany alone, most likely. Your family is joining later, or you're single. And I'm pretty sure a couple blocks away, there's at least another person exactly in the same situation.
Exactly the same situation.
And this is what you need to be aware and go out and meet these people.
You meet on social media. There's groups for that. New in Berlin, I think, is a Berlin-based Facebook group where people can just hit on people. If you want to date, go on Tinder. I mean, go meet people somehow, however it works best.
And also, next week, we go to the Diwali festival.
That's right.
Look out in your community. Yeah. Maybe you want, if you are afraid of going out, connect with your folks, and that can be a good starting point. Cricket could be one opportunity for the Indians and Pakistani friends out there, but also any kind of festivals. The communities also from other parts of the world. I think there's not any country which is not represented here in Germany, right?
No.
And link up with them in order to get to know Germany.
Exactly. If you really want to get our recommendation, there is a really great team over at Simple Germany. There are two good partners and friends of ours who have a really, really good channel, and we can really openly do some advertisement here. Those two are making such great content about how things in Germany work, how you have to put things into context. I love this video where they're talking about, I think Yvonne and Jen were talking about, why do Germans yell? And Yvonne explains it. She's German. And Germans sometimes yell, but you need to know how to put that into context, how to understand it, etc. So really subscribe to their channel, of course. That's really also something that's going to help you. One last point, and this is important maybe for everybody interested in our personal coaching program. If you want to try out, you're going to first have a call with Paul. And Paul is going to check some technical things. But afterwards, you are going to have a strategy call with either Tammo, who's not here, or with Raoul, or with me. And I would say when I do these calls, Raoul, I talk 50% about the program and how we're going to help people get calls and find a job. But I really talk 50% about the time that they're here. Yeah. That's how it has shifted over the years.
Yeah, I can agree. It's definitely important that we find out in these strategy calls that you are ready for it. And also, it's a big step. It's not something buying another pair of shoes or whatever. It's really
a life-changing decision.
Exactly. It's a life-changing moment and decision that you're going to take, and you should be ready for it. And if we have the feeling, okay, you might be not ready because of your technical skills or any other reason, we'll let you know. Yeah, we will give you that feedback, and you can come back to us anytime again. But definitely, I think this is so important that you, if you want to move to Germany, that you also be aware of the steps and consider all these side effects, or let's say all the effects that are surrounding
the cultural
decision.
differences, the cultural nuances, what awaits you, how it's going to have an impact on you as a person, how you're going to grow as a person.
Definitely.
And this is really what I must say. We've seen with so many great people coming here. They are just no longer the same.
Exactly.
And you will grow as a person.
And,
That's what we can
and
pretty much
everyone also from that meetup agreed on that. You're not only learning about Germany and a different culture, you learn a lot about yourself and your own culture. Huh? By reflecting and see the differences, you learn the most about yourself.
Perfect. What else is there to say? Folks, thank you very much for following, for watching. If you like this, of course, feel free to let us know and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much, Raoul.
Thank
and
you.
We'll be in touch and back with another career clip soon. All the best. Take care.